What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Sacred Cards. Back again with another deck profile for you today. I know I've taken some time off for a few weeks, but it's so good to be back in the office doing card theory, testing, and building new decks for you all. Thanks so much to each and every one of you for the love and support. You mean the world to me and this amazing community that I'm so happy to be a part of. There's something about this game that brings us all together, and I absolutely love it. Today I'm coming at you with an update to my Dinomorphia deck profile for April 2024. I really wanted to share an updated list with you because I've been testing an idea in here that pushes the deck forward to put more pressure on the board and doesn't hinder what the Dinomorphia strategy wants to do. I'm not going to call it spice, but it's definitely something new that I haven't seen any other Dinomorphia player try. And plus, if you don't like it, it's only 3 cards, and this list is very flexible. There are many options that this deck can take advantage of. Also, please be sure to give the video a like if you do, and subscribe for more content. We're well on our way to 500 subscribers, which is 500 more than I ever thought I'd get. I just want to be able to be here to share my decks and ideas with you. It's unbelievable and motivates me to do the best I can. So with all that said, I'll go through my deck list and try and explain the cards as best I can. This is a 40 card Dinomorphia list. Starting off the monsters, you already know, 3 copies of Dinomorphia Therizia. If this card is normal or special summon, you can set any Dinomorphia trap directly from your deck. Then if your life points are 2,000 or less, it gains 500 attack. It also floats if it's destroyed. You can banish a trap from your graveyard and special summon a level 4 Dinomorphia from the graveyard. Next up is 3 copies of Dinomorphia Diplos. Yes, I think 3 is correct. You really need all the resources you can get, at least until we get another main deck monster. You definitely want 3, so let's not hate on our guy Diplos here. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send any Dinomorphia card from your deck to the graveyard. Then if your life points are 2,000 or less, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. If this card is destroyed, you can banish any trap from your graveyard to special summon a level 4 or lower Dinomorphia from the graveyard. Next, I'm playing 1 copy of Miscellaneousaurus. Misk is incredible. Wish we had more copies to play with. But until then, it's a great form of protection. Plus, we do have ways to search it, which makes it worth playing, in my opinion. Bumping my lighting here. Following that up, I'm playing 1 copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Yes, this badass made its way in here too. I love dinos, and if this card makes it onto the board, your opponent better deal with it right away, otherwise we're going to run them over. It has a quick effect to flip all their monsters face down, attack everyone once each, and inflict battle damage. Plus, it is also searchable. How, you ask? Well, I'm going to show you, so stay tuned because that's coming up with the next engine I'm going to show off. Which is, love this or hate this, I'm playing 1 copy of Doodle Beast Stego and 1 copy of Doodle Beast Tyranno. Now, these cards have actually been amazing in this deck, especially the trap card, which we can search with, which can search each of our Tyranno monsters. We play Fossil Dig, which can search our copy of Stego. This is a free summon from hand if we control no monsters or only dinos. When normal or special summon, we can search our Doodlebook trap card. Tyranno is a very sweet card that stares me down every time I go through the dino section of my binder, so we finally get to put it to good use. It can be tribute summoned using 1 dino type monster during the main phase of a dino's on the field. Quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card from our hand, then destroy a monster on the field. And if we tributed Stego for its summon, it gains half of Stego's attack, bringing it to 3,000 attack, which is also very nice. Like I said, these cards don't hinder the deck at all, rather they give you additional options on top of your regular Dinomorphia strategy. Well, that rounds out the monster lineup. Now moving on to the spells. For draw power, I love having 2 copies of Pot of Duality. 2 copies is perfect as you really don't want to see multiples in your hand. It lets you excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, add any one of them to your hand, helping you dig for the cards you need. You can't special summon the turn you activate this card, but it does let you set up with your normal summon to let you play during your opponent's turn with all of your traps. And following that up, I have triple copies of Fossil Dig. I think that for this build, Fossil Dig is perfect in so many ways. You can search either your copies of Diplos or Therizia if you need, or if you're already set up there, then you can search your Doodle Beast, which can gain you access to the trap card, which can then get you access to your other Doodle Beast, or more likely your copy of UTC. Plus being able to search Misk from your deck if you want the added protection that it provides. It's not once per turn. Fossil Dig is an amazing card, and I think we can all agree these quarter century secret rares are absolutely gorgeous. That's it for the spells. Now time for the traps, starting things off with triple copies of Dinomorphia Frenzy. During your opponent's main phase, pay half your life points, fusion summon a Dinomorphia monster from your deck and one monster... Dinomorphia monster using one monster from your deck and one monster from your extra deck as fusion material. This card also has the effect that when your opponent activates a card or effect while your life points are 2,000 or less, you can banish this card from your graveyard. You take no effect damage from your opponent that turn. Next, the other fusion trap is 3 copies of Dinomorphia Domain. During the main phase, pay half your life points to fusion summon a Dinomorphia monster using material from your hand, deck, or field. It also has the effect of Frenzy. When your opponent activates a card or effect while your life points are 2,000 or less, banish this card and take no effect damage from your opponent this turn. Next, more normal traps. I'm playing 2 copies of Dinomorphia Alert. This card is great for the grind game. Alert can allow you to pay half your life points, special summon up to 2 Dinomorphia cards in the graveyard whose total levels equal 8 or less. Like the other normal traps, when your opponent activates a card or effect while your life points are 2,000 or less, banish this card to prevent effect damage for that turn. Now for the Dinomorphia counter trap, I'm playing triple copies of Dinomorphia Intact. When a monster effect is activated while you control a Dinomorphia card, pay half your life points, negate that effect, destroy that monster, and whenever you take battle damage this turn, it becomes half of whatever your life points are at the time. Plus, during damage calculation, if you would take battle damage, you can banish this card and you take no damage from that battle. This card is great because you only need to have a Dinomorphia card face up to resolve this effect. So if you have this in Frenzy set, you activate Frenzy, for example, and your opponent tries to ash you, you can hit them with Intact. For more counter traps, I play 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. Pretty standard for most Dinomorphia players at this point. It's a great card for the deck because once again, pay half your life points, negate the summon or activation of any spell or trap card and destroy it. Now, a brand new card I've been testing from Phantom Nightmare is 2 copies of Iron Thunder. This card is a beauty and fits the bill perfectly for a deck like Dinomorphia. It's a more destructive Solemn Judgment. When a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, pay half your life points, negate and destroy that card. Then destroy any other cards in the column that the destroyed card was in. I was playing 3 copies before, but I didn't want to see too many of them, so 2 copies has been perfect throughout testing. Very happy with this card. And next, I'm on 2 copies of Solemn Strike. 2, I think, is perfect for this card, as you don't really want to see it in the late game because your life points may already be too low to pay the cost. Solemn Strike just takes care of so many things your opponent tries to throw at you, including hand traps. But again, you do have to be careful as you need to pay the 1,500 life points for cost. So I really like setting up with Stealth Bergia so you don't have to pay any life points to activate trap cards. Best case is to try and shotgun this as early as possible if you can't set up with Stealth Bergia. Now, hands down, one of my favorite tech cards, if not my favorite in the deck, is 3 copies of Ferret Flames. This deck makes great use of this card because if the combined attack of all monsters your opponent controls is higher than your life points, make your opponent shuffle their monsters back into the deck so the combined attack is less than or equal to your life points. It's also not once per turn. It's been able to clear so many boards for me. I'll never cut this card. That being said, Konami, us Dinomorphia players would love a holo upgrade, please. OTS Super, or in my opinion, Speed Duel Secrets look amazing. And then next, we are still on 3 copies of Soul of the Supreme King. This is another great tech for the deck because you can pay half your life points, special summon Supreme King Zark from your extra deck. Its effects are negated and it returns to the extra deck at the end of the turn, allowing you to use it again. The best ability of this card is when your opponent activates a spell card or effect, you can banish this card and 1 Supreme King Zark, special summon 1 Pendulum Dragon, 1 Xyz Dragon, 1 Synchro Dragon, and 1 Fusion Dragon monsters from your hand, deck, extra deck, or graveyard. This gives you several new monsters on the board all at once, and is still one of my favorite engines to play with the deck. I'll show you the cards it gives access to in the extra deck. And finally, the last card we play in the main deck is 1 copy of the Doodlebook Trap card. This is a card I mentioned that you search off your copy of Stego. When your Dino is attacked, negate that attack, then you can special summon a Doodle Beast from the grave to bring back your copy of Stego or Tyranno. It can't be destroyed by a battle that turn, and you destroy it during the end phase. But my favorite effect is that it's kind of like Ice Barrier in the sense that you can banish it from your graveyard, add a level 5 or higher Dino from deck to hand, which is perfect to get access to your copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Well, that is it for the main deck. Again, it is a very tight 40 cards. Moving on to the extra deck, starting off with your boss monster, 3 copies of Dinomorphia Rex Term. Yes, while Rex is on the field, your opponent cannot activate monster effects with an attack greater than or equal to your life points. Plus, if you want to bring it down to that, quick effect, pay half your life points. The attack of all monsters your opponent controls becomes equal to your life points. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a level 6 or lower Dinomorphia from the graveyard. Following that up, we have 3 copies of Dinomorphia Kentragina, equally as important. This 4,000 attack monster loses attack equal to your life points, but has the amazing ability to quick effect banish a Dinomorphia normal trap, and this card's effect becomes that card's effect. So if you activate your copy of Frenzy to fusion summon this card, you can copy Frenzy's effect again in the graveyard to get a copy of Rex Term as well. Plus, if this card is destroyed, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Dinomorphia from the graveyard. And last of the engine cards, I'm playing 3 copies of Dinomorphia Stealthburgia. 3 copies is essential to play in my opinion. You need it for resources, and I like being able to end on one if I need. It has the effect when your life points are 2,000 or less, you don't have to pay life points to activate trap cards or your monster's effects. It also has a quick effect when your opponent activates a monster effect, inflict damage equal to that monster's original attack. And also has the effect when it gets destroyed, you can special summon a level 4 lower Dinomorphia from the graveyard. Next up is a single copy of Supreme King Zark. You make Zark with your copies of Soul of the Supreme King, so its effects will be negated, but it provides a huge 4,000 attack and defense and will return to the extra deck the turn after it is summoned. Although if it does get destroyed, you place it in the Pendulum Zone, then Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz monsters your opponent controls can't activate their effects. Plus, if your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, you can destroy that card, which is really nice. That does come up. And following that up is 1 copy of Odd Eyes Archray Dragon. Archray Dragon is the cover card from Age of Overlord. I like having a copy in here. This card's name is always treated as Supreme King Zark. This face down card in the extra deck must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by tributing 1 level 12 Dark's Supreme King Zark, giving you a permanent 4,000 attack and defense body on the field. And the next 4 cards are my targets for Soul of the Supreme King. By simply banishing the trap card and your copy of Zark, you get access to the following all at once. starting with one copy of Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon and one copy of Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. The main effect with Brave Eyes: when this card attacks an opponent's monster and that card is not destroyed, banish that monster. Crystal Wing has the ability: when another monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation, destroy that card, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to the destroyed monster's attack till the end of the turn. Plus, if this card battles a level 5 or higher monster during damage calculation, this card gains attack equal to the current attack of the monster it's battling. And finally, the last two cards I'm playing, which are also part of my Supreme King package: one copy of Odd Eyes Rebellion Xyz Dragon and one copy of Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon Overlord. Rebellion Xyz Dragon won't be able to access its detach effects when summoned, but it will remain with its Blue Eyes stats for the turn. If it does get destroyed, you can place it in the Pendulum Zone with the effect that during your main phase, you can special summon this card, attach a dark monster from your graveyard as material. Then, if you like, you can detach a material, target 2 monsters on the opponent's field with 3,000 or less attack, and destroy them. Rebellion Dragon Overlord can be Xyz summoned by stacking on top of its rank 7 counterpart here. The beauty with this card is that it can make up to 3 attacks during each battle phase, whether that's taking out 3 monsters on their field or attacking directly to put up 9,000 damage. This card has won me a lot of games, and one of the reasons I love this Supreme King package so much. Well, that is it for the deck profile. I really hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything you like or don't like, please leave me a comment telling me what you think. Be sure to like the video if you did and subscribe for more content. Thank you for your support, and always enjoy the Sacred Cards. We'll see you all in the next one.